be talking about Tinder and some of the privacy issues that have arisen since
So
the
what
app has
is it?
gained
Tinder is essentially
users and
this
popularity.
application for smartphones that was developed by two students at USC in attempts to connect college students. And it then expanded to other colleges outside of USC and eventually beyond colleges in general. And it's used to connect users via common interests, location, and offers a platform for instant messaging and is often used as a dating service. So basically how it works is that users link their Facebook to the application in order to log in with a unique username and password, and then they're exposed to different profiles of those in their location and predetermined radius. So if you swipe left, that indicates a pass, and a swipe right indicates a like. So if both users swipe right on each other, more features are accessible, like instant messaging, but that's only if both users swipe right on each other. So in this case, both users swiped right, so then they can start messaging each other. So what's the point of this? Tinder basically is acting as a middleman to guide you to people you'd likely be friends with or want to date. You identify your gender, who you want to be matched with, the age group of who you want to be matched with, and your search radius. And so through these, even if you're in the same location as someone else, you might not be matched with them. It really depends on your criteria that you set before. So what's the problem? According to Forbes, the GPS feature of the app that allows users to connect is becoming dangerous when hackers and predators break Tinder's firewalls. So hackers and predators are gaining access to this longitude and latitude information that is supposed to be kept within the application and used to help users meet other people in their area. Users are feeling as if their privacy is being infringed upon because of this. So one stakeholder in this situation is obviously the user. They're the content generators for the application, providing their name and their age and other information. And without the user, this app could not function since it's entirely user-generated content. And the other stakeholder in this case would be the administrators of the application, the owners of the app. And so they work to fix glitches and update the application when needed and increase users. And they're supposed to be ensuring that firewall blocking or firewall issues aren't arising. And so that's why the users are becoming really upset with the app owners that their location is being disclosed. So basically security has been the biggest issue with Tinder, considering the content is completely generated by personal information of the users. So users agree to disclose this information, yet a lot will gloss over the terms and conditions and they don't really understand what they're agreeing to. And like I said before, users provide their age, their name, a picture, a bio, and then through this GPS technology that's on the application, you can actually see their distance away from you and also the last time they were active. So Tinder is really only allowed to use the information they outlined in the terms and conditions, which is information provided on Facebook, which is age and name, photographs and a bio that are added by the user, and the location. So Tinder can only use this information, and it's strictly used for making matches. So if you look in this photograph, you'll see that Tinder utilizes GPS to transmit a signal using a chip in the phone to pinpoint your exact location, and it's really helpful when it's used to try to find matches in your radius that you've determined, but it's really frightening if it's accessible by unintended people, like predators or hackers. So it wouldn't be surprising if the administrators of Tinder are using the information that's provided by the users to conduct statistical analysis. They're likely interested in the demographic that their application appeals to, age, gender, location, and they're probably interested in expanding this demographic. So not only is the information of the users being used outside of the dating and matching realm when it's being hacked by a third party, but it's also likely being used by Tinder to further the success of their app and attempt to expand their demographic. So basically on Facebook, which is the unique username and password that's needed in order to have a Tinder account in the first place, on Facebook, all of your information becomes owned by Facebook. So photos, messages, updates, and even text typed in but never even sent, which is referred to as self-censoring, that's all owned by Facebook. And so Tinder might conduct the same policy, which might be seen as a privacy infringement as well, considering the nature of the app as a dating service. It's really doubtful that these people want their conversations that may contain sensitive material accessed by those outside of the app, and people probably don't want their location accessed by people outside of the application. This is a dating website and dating application and supposed to be kept private, and it's really concerning to the users that the information is not only being accessed by hackers but being accessed by the administrators, and it might dissuade them from wanting to use the application. So Tinder can run into issues when this information that the users provide stops being used for just matchmaking, and it's used for this demographic analysis that was discussed earlier. Tinder likely keeps track of matches and between who, but they're keeping track of the type of matches, the age difference between matches, location, age, and the users might not want this information to be accessed by Tinder. And if Tinder has access to this information, then any hacker that breaks through the firewall will have access to this information too in Tinder's databases. So there's kind of this balance between the user and the user's benefit and this privacy infringement that the user feels. So Tinder uses the information of the user that they want to be kept private, and it's often sensitive information, and Tinder's using it to better their app. Yet it's probably in the user's interest to willingly provide this information to Tinder because it can help to better the app that they use, providing a better experience for the user, and it also will provide high success for the administrators if they're able to expand their demographic. So it's basically a win-win for both stakeholders. However, the users likely expect more of a solution from Tinder on the hacking and predator end, since this is something that's out of the user's control. So in the terms and conditions, Tinder needs to specify exactly what information they're taking from the users and how exactly they're using it, as well as how they're protecting the user's information. In the Tinder terms of service, the privacy agreement is a separate entity, and the users will likely not click on the link that leads to the privacy agreement, considering most barely skim the terms of service. So Tinder might want to update their terms of service and also provide a section regarding how this information is being secured. Also, Tinder should also outline whether or not chats and discussions between two users when they both swipe right on each other through the instant messaging platform are the intellectual property of the user. Are words typed into the chat immediately owned by Tinder like they are on Facebook? Oftentimes chats can be embarrassing or private, especially given the nature of this website, and it's likely that the users don't want their chats shared with the world or owned by Tinder, and definitely don't want them owned by a third party, especially if they're providing locations or addresses in the chats. However, any user can really take a screenshot on any smartphone device or copy and paste text, which is a risk that one takes with online messaging in general. But with an updated terms of service and an increased effort to keep the information of the users private, this application and the administrators of the application can solve their